So we've got all these roadworks you see there. The man's using his digger and scratching about, backfilling the holes. Lovely. So it's an opportunity for us to come up, baby, for them to see all these bollards and temporary fencing, etc. Because when these horses go home, it could quite well be that, you know, down the same road they live, it could be the same sort of things. What we're doing today with these horses, it's the main reason we come this way. It's just a little road that goes round the town a little bit, about a quarter of the way round, if that. But what we have got on the right hand side, and the reason I've come, is hit or miss whether you actually can see, you know, hear one more than see it. But if you look over to the right now, you can see there's a viaduct down there, and that on top where them rails are is a railway line. Yeah. So the train's going up to London, and normally mid-morning about now you get 2 or 3 going up, you know, at half an hour spaces, but obviously the chance of catching one is great. But it's what's lovely about it is there's not much visual for them, you know, so they hear the noise, which is tremendous when you're this close to the track. You see the track just across here, literally behind these trees. Along this particular stretch here, it becomes a little bit closer to the road even. So if you look, I don't know if you can see through there, but you'll see the actual railway line no more than what it would be, I suppose, 40 foot away. And then because it's up high, it's a beautiful place to get them used to trains. So they go thundering up there, obviously, because by the time they've left the station, which will be half a mile away, they've got up to speed. So they'd be rumbling along there nicely. Also, the other thing is these sleeping policemen, the bumps in the road, that's what they're called here. The idea is to slow traffic down, being a residential area. So you can see here now, look, how close the railway line is. So you don't often see it on the films because obviously we don't have the time to hang about here all day waiting for a train to come. And there's no hard and fast rules of what time. But it's normally mid-morning, we could catch one. Even yet, we could get a train coming. But it's lovely because they can't see it. It's screened by trees. And it'd be exactly the same as if someone had a digging machine and they were picking up, I don't know, whatever, and dropping it into a big lorry or truck. Then what you'd have is you'd hear the noise, wouldn't you, behind them trees. You know, someone was building something there or whatever. You'd hear the tremendous noise, but they couldn't visually see it. So that's quite, not a strain, but it's all, you know, it's putting them under a little bit of pressure, and they learn by that. So if it ever happens in the future, they can hear a loud noise, unusual noise, and yet they'll cope with it. You know, that's the most loveliest thing, really. So now we come out onto this main road. So you've got like a retail park over there, etc. And I'll come in this lane. Hup. And I'm going to go round this roundabout. And I want to come right over here so that we can get some stuff coming up the inside of us, you know. This is perfect. So we'll get someone coming this lane. Unfortunately, it's that car there. So we'll walk slowly and hopefully get another one come up the inside. That's it, good. We might get another one more yet, which we will, yeah. Walk up, baby, go on. And then we get in front of it. Hup. Let it go run with us. See the horse's ears on it. But the control is there. Now, you know from previous films with this pair of horses, we can relate back for you, put a little clip the film up, you know, a couple of pictures of when the horse saw something come up its inside before, it would be very much on its toes, you know, it would jump up and be upset by it. So there's about 4 lanes that go around this roundabout, and most people come to these lights and want to you know, be able to continue going. We want to stop. So we get another motor car now. You see, that's lovely coming up there. Hop, babies, truck. Then we'll change lanes, come into the middle, so we get one either side if we're very lucky. And it's all education for them. There's some other things. I'm going to do another film about these horses regarding the way. We'll just have a brief look now, the way they're bandaged behind and the reason why. Walk, so the reason for doing that. So that's nice. When I ask them to walk, they go away now. We've got a nice walk. And I always find people say that motorists are, you know, bad on the road and they don't give you any room. I honestly have to say we find that very, very rare, and I do mean that it's rare. We find we're always very polite and thank anybody, you know, when they come past, if we've held them up at all, but we do get out of the way so that we don't impede the flow of traffic any more than is absolutely necessary, because obviously it's no good, is it, doing that? So I'm going to come over here now into this other lane. Come right over here to go round the roundabout again. But I want them to be nice and safe. So if you look at their tails and see this nearside mare, really, how she's swinging her tail, and there's a lovely one with a bus up the inside, you see. Now, sometimes in the right light you'll get a reflection of see that mare now, look? Seen herself in the side of the she's seen us for a reflection, so she get a little bit uptight, yeah, but that's good. Not good she gets uptight, but it's good to steady, baby, that'll do. So that's good to take her around again and hopefully get another bus. So walk, babies, just walk. So there's my sugars. Good baby, yes you are. So there's a good thing. So the bus coming up the inside, another one now, you see. You see the difference, the coating. Seen one, see the next one, not so bad. We've got another big lorry making a little bit of a rattle, that's lovely, that's good. And it's our job to make them safe, confident and happy in any sphere of harness work. Doing any job, whatever it might be, working in the woods, cutting down timbers, chainsaws going and all that type of stuff, you know. I'm into this retail park now. It's not massive, you see, you've got about 5 or 6 shops, I suppose, running down. And the point of it, coming in here, is to show them something different, isn't it? Now, something else I want you to notice, these horses have both travelled the same distance. You see this one here, he's puffing a bit, yeah? And this one here is not hardly at all. So they both covered the same ground, but it's because this horse is more uptight. So the interesting thing is, she's got no real sweat showing or anything like that. You know, there's nothing wrong with all sweating, there's nothing wrong at all. If you go jogging, you sweat. Yeah, it's just knowing how you control it and how much work you give them. So both horses had the same amount of work. Both the breed of horses, both the same height, both the same length of leg. Why do I mention length of leg? Well, obviously, the longer the stride on the longer the leg, the longer the stride as a general rule, right? So the more ground is covered with the same amount of effort. But these two are fairly matched. But this horse, now this is uptight, but it doesn't show it. You know, it doesn't show it. It doesn't give many outside, so body language. Then it's not giving you a lot from its body language. So you've got to be aware of that. So there's no great. I mean, I've tried to study and learn as much as I can. And every horse you get come in the yard, there's always something to learn. You know, if you think yourself, well, no, there's nothing to learn there. I know that. And as soon as you start believing that you know it, you soon find out you don't know it, you know, and we're very limited in what we know with horses. So you've got to be willing and have your mind open to learning. So to bring them into this environment is just a nice thing at this moment in time as far as this particular pair of horses is concerned. So it's a good thing from the point of view that we're now off the main road a bit with the heavy traffic, and we're going to have a little walk amongst this car park. We're not going to be anybody's way, we're not doing, but here's the thing here, like this chap's got his little baby on top of his shoulders, right? Now to a horse that looks completely alien, completely what's happening here, do you know what I mean? So all these things are learning. See me nearside horse, its answer to anything that it don't like, anything it don't like, its answer is to turn its head away and hide behind its blinker, and it does actually do that if you watch and learn. So it'll see someone come down there, and you can see it just going to tighten a little bit, lift its head up high, you know, and gets a little bit uptight. Its ears are back now because some people are coming up. Here they are, look, we're just coming there. So the ears there, see there, like that. Now they're going away, so don't mind that, see, and he'll have a look back, that's it. But if it was coming towards her, this Friesian mare makes me laugh. What she does, if it's coming towards her and she's not sure, she'll turn her head to her mate, right over, and that's her answer to saying, you know, like, oh, well, you see, watch this now, like, you might do the same thing. Moving a bit there, what I tell you, right? See, so look round at me, like, now that person's now disappeared as far as this horse is concerned. Can you see that? No. The youngsters, mate, you know, they're just learning, just getting them to stand still. So you see there a prime example of what I mean. So the horse turned round, would sooner look back at me, you know, Dad, if you like, or, you know, like, see there again, can you see? So we'd just sooner look, 4-year-old, sooner look back at me, and like that. So that's beautiful, that's lovely. How you do that down there? That's good. So what I want the horse to do is obviously not look away, and it's not me touching the reins in any way. If you look at the coupling rein, it's just hanging slack. You know, it's not me, you know, having any influence on. Now this horse here is dead opposite. Although it's uptight with things, it's never, it's happier with people, you know, it never minds looking at them or being around them or like that. But this horse here is so interesting to me that how the horse, well, come up, babe. And what you don't want them to do is obviously the near side horse, or the nearest to pavement, or the sidewalk, yeah? Near as that, look, see what I mean? So what that's about, in my opinion, what that's about is, are you still there, Dad? You know, have you seen this? Is this all right? If you look at its ears, the way its ears are back to me now, every word I say, it's there, you know, just while I'm talking, yeah? And just wants to know, takes a lot of solace from me being there. Now the other way I can reassure it is by picking up the rein and doing this, look, just tickling her mouth, yeah, like that, there, like that. I see all the time I tickle her mouth like that, yeah. I'm touching her. It's like going into a haunted house and someone holding your hand, basically. So if I hold that there, she won't take notice of this lady. I mean, I'm not pulling her, just giving her a little jiggle in its mouth. Look, can you see? Little jiggle like that, and Dad's holding her hand, basically. So there's so much with horses, and every one of them that comes in the yard you can learn. And it's, I mean, I'm, you know, getting on in years now, and it still takes, there's still so much that you think you know and you don't know. So we want to stand here for another, you know, minute or so, and then we move off. So we've got all this brightly coloured stuff, flowers for sale, compost, etc. outside that great big sign there, and they're handling it pretty well. And there is a nice one, trolley coming. Watch the ears, look. Right, see the movement, just resting, I just touched the pole, that's all right. And yet you get someone walk down towards, or, you know, is too close, and it will turn its head round and look at me. I just think that's the weirdest thing in the world. You know, look there, walk, no, stand still, baby. But they're coming on very, very well. And we, you know, when we make these films really for the owners of the horses we have here, so that they can see them. Because someone phones me up and said, how's my horses getting on? Well, you're better off sending them 10 seconds of film, because a picture paints 1,000 words. So, you know, in that respect, that's far better to do. I'm just watching this. I'm trying to talk to you and explain to you what I'm doing. At the same time, I've got to give a full concentration to, see there, look. Back, you there, Dad? There's a person near me, near my head. That's what it's basically saying. There's a person near my head. Are they going to touch me? Are they going to come too near to me? So when someone says, oh, can we pet them? Can we, you know, stroke them? Can we smooth them? I think they say in America, you know. So I have to say, which I don't. I love like children to be around, but this ain't the time for that. It's not the time. They don't want to. That don't want to be part of their day. You know, we just want to concentrate on what we're doing. So we're going to have a walk around the car park now, then we're going to go back out and start making our way up into the centre of town, where we'll encounter another load of people shopping and walking about, hopefully, and lots more buses, so we can go past a few buses and get as much as you can. So it's like a day of introducing new stuff all the time, so every step you take is something new. Well, that's the plan anyway. Okay, so right, walk babies, walk. And they've got to come round here nice and sweet. Now see, look, you notice while I've got the rein contact with that horse, this nearside horse, never attempted to move its head round to look at me, did it? Because I'm already holding its hand, if you like. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but that's basically what's happening. I'm holding its hand. So I'm saying to it, it's all right, you know, the world's a wonderful place, I'm here, don't worry. Like a child that's not sure in any situation, they just want you to hold their hand, put your hand on their shoulder if they're standing next to you, just, you know, reassure them, and that's what she wants. Now this horse on the offside, the one directly in front of me, he's not like that, and yet he's far more uptight. With sounds, vision, everything like that, it's far more uptight. They're just two entirely different horses, but a beautiful pair of matched horses that work well together. So it's just, you know, just interesting to me, and I never get fed up with it. You know, I never get, you know, it's just learn every single day. You can, and what you learn today with one horse might not suit the next horse, but it goes in the library. In your bank of information, into your knowledge that you've done, and sometimes it'll help me get the best out, because our job here is to get the best out of these horses so they're safe, confident and happy in any situation. Yeah, and that's exactly what I want. So all these cars around them, all these cars, etc., I'm going to go right between these two with no trouble whatsoever. I mean, the ladies come back to accommodate me, and that's fine. But good baby, up you go. The other thing is never to get uptight with them, which is easy to say, you know, and quite hard to do. And as soon as you feel that, you know, especially losing your cool, is it called losing your cool, losing your temper, you know, not your temper exactly, but you know, you've got to just go steady away with them. And just give them every encouragement you can, and bear in mind they're out there on their own. This is not like riding horses, entirely different. When you're riding horses, they can feel you on their back, they can feel your thighs, your calves, your heels, your hands up their neck as your body's moving, so you become one. You know, when Katie, the young lady that rides the horses, you know, for the riding division, she seriously does, I mean seriously, become one. Ree normally starts off backing them. She does the sitting on for the first time, etc., like that. And then Katie, once Ree's, you know, cut the diamond, I suppose, if you want to explain it that way, then Katie will polish it. I think that's a fair comment. I think Katie would agree with that. But trot. but she is definitely one with a horse. They become, if you see them after she's been on it a few times, she just has this brilliant gift of, they're like one animal, if you like an animal with two heads, you know what I mean? They just go together, and it don't matter whether it's a little pony or a purebred or a shire horse or anything at all. So she just has this affinity, I think, with them. So you see this horse now on the inside, you see the ears, he's talking to me, they both are, but more so the one on the inside. Their ears are rocking, she wants to know, is it alright? Are we alright here, Dad? I can hear these things behind me. Yeah. Now, I don't want to, now some people would say, talk to her and reassure her. No, I've got contact with her. I'm touching her. My rein, a bit is in her mouth, soft rubber bit. We don't have metal ones at all, ever. I've got a soft rubber bit in there, so I've got a nice soft contact. So it's me, like, I can reassure her from here. I don't want to use words and say, like, there's a motorbike there, you know. Yeah, there's a good girl, baby, all right, don't worry, no good. No good. Sometimes you've got to do it, but very rarely. Your best is to be quiet behind them, and then they will develop their own confidence, because they've dealt with it with only the contact of my hand on them, yeah? So they know I'm here, and then eventually, you see, as the horse is finished, they will cope with anything on a slack rein. I can do that with them, and they won't even speed up, you know, drop the reins right off, and they won't even speed up. They'll walk when they're asked to, they'll trot when they're asked to, they'll stand, and they'll stand for as long as you like, you know. So all this is about introducing new things. Anyone can put horse in harness. Well, you know, I don't mean that, you know, sort of degrading, breaking horse, you know, or training horse to pull a cart. But that's really not the main thing, really, because you could do that. Obviously, you know, I can't give you an average. I suppose if I was pushed to it, I'd have to say something, but I honestly don't know, and I truthfully don't know what the average would be of the time we spend actually getting horse between the shafts or on the pole, whatever they're being trained for. I can't say to you it's this long or that long. I can't do that because I just don't know. So the consequences, steady baby, is if they're here, the average time they spend here is 6 weeks with us. That's all unbroke, completely unbroke, but being handled, groomed, pick its feet up, tie it up, yeah? And being able to touch it all over, basically. That's the best horse for us at 3-year-old when it's had its actual 3rd birthday. And that's the best horse for us. We can make them, you know, because you've got everything you need there to start their education. Come up, my darlings. So these are walking up here quite now on a slack rein, yeah? So we're off of that roundabout where they're a little bit uptight because they can hear the motor cars behind them. Things are more normal now. The cars are overtaking, yeah, and things are more normal. So we have to change that and make it abnormal. But you've got to know how long to do it for, how long to stay on the roundabout. Now I've heard some people talk so much. You know, some people would say, "Oh, I'll keep going round until they got that." Ain't right. I'll keep going round until they accept it. No. You let them have a little bit. Now with some horses you would do more than others, that's perfectly true, but I certainly wouldn't be there until the horse give up or give in, or that's no good. That's me enforcing my will on it. That's no good at all. You will do this today. Well, that's bullshit. That's no good at all. I mean, seriously, no good at all. So when you're putting a pair together to work together as a pair, they've got to share the work, they've got to do it right, and they've got to be. So these horses now going up here are both laid back, pretty easy, on a slack rein, just a piece of rudder in their mouth, all 4 traces tight, working, sharing the work, so the pair becomes one, yeah? Which is obviously what you want with your horses, you know. And these have not been with us that long. I mean, these horses actually were already broke, but I wouldn't, how can I say this without offending anybody? They were broke, but maybe, can I say? They were broke, but didn't have any schooling. Let's just say that. You know, they didn't have the... This is all about schooling. So as I say, anyone can get them between the shafts or on the pole. Well, if that was the case, I could do them in, I don't know, if the average is about, say, I don't know, I don't want to say because I honestly don't know the truth, but say if the average is 3 weeks, well, if that, all the goal was to get them in to harness and put in a cart, if that was the goal that we're looking for, then 3 weeks they'd all go home, wouldn't they? And I wouldn't do all, if someone said to me, just get it between the shafts, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that, no, I wouldn't just do that. I'll finish the job properly, to a proper standard, so I can say that horse is safe, confident and happy, and there's the film to prove it, doing it. Now, whether or not, to be, you know, perfectly honest, whether, I don't know how to say things without offending people. I don't mean to offend anybody, I certainly don't, but if you say, I have the film done, the people have the film of the horse completed its training, and you see it doing everything it does. So it goes and stands on the motorway bridge, looks down at the traffic, it goes round the arena, it does everything that, you know, everything that all the other horses do. But that don't mean that's, you know, that's when they're trained and done. But if it was just a matter of getting them in the harness, maybe 3 weeks I'll get them in harness and put in a cart. But that's not the job. That's only half the job. In fact, I would say it's a third of the job. The rest of it is this job here. You know, getting them to accept anything. So there's this bus coming up here now. Slack rein, little pickup. You know, they're not running away or anything. I just say like that, steady, baby. Steady, my darlings. You can see I'm not pulling their mouths back hard. Anything, just applying a slight bit of pressure on a rubber bit. And there they are, come back nice and sweet and gentle. So, right, trot boys, trot. That was a bit sexist, what it's in as their mares, but there you go.
There's a smile on my face every time I hear that sound. The rhythm of the hooves as they touch the ground. And there's no better place I'd rather be than with my safe, confident horse. And